Hello, YouTubers. The new Time Travel Jaime 88. I'm back with another Doctor Who DVD review, and tonight we're looking at Doctor Who: The Space Museum and the Chase. Brilliant two classic Doctor Who stories. I really love it. This is fantastic. Anyway, this review was requested by Harry Williams. Thank you very much for the request. This classic two Doctor Who stories, each episode, originally transmitted on April 24th through June 26, 1965. Anyway, let's begin with the story, The Space Museum. The TARDIS arrived near a vast space museum on the planet Xerox, but has jumped a time track. The first Doctor, Ian, Barbara, and Vicky had a series of bizarre experiments as they adventure outside into the museum, not least that they seen but cannot be seen by militaristic Morgs who run the museum, or the several ingenious Xerox who works for them. The museum contained fascinating exhibits including a dialect shell, but most worrying is the four travelers themselves, encased on the display. Quite soon after, the time track slips back and through the exhibit of the TARDIS. The four travelers vanish. They still find themselves inside the museum. As the head of the Morgs, Lobos is bored and a desperate museum administrator and a colony governor, who reflects sorrowfully that the glories of the Morag Empire are past. Like Rome, the empire became descended and then declined. The Morocks have found the TARDIS and now start tracking down the Alchemists, who have as usual become separated. The Doctor is first to be found but evaded by interrogation tactics. Meanwhile, Vicky had made contact with the Xerox and hearing of their enslavement aids them in their plan to stage a revolution. They attack the Morag's armory and Vicky outwits its controller computer with new weapons. The Xerox are able to begin revolution, which slow takes its hold. Ian has freed the Doctor from the Lobos, who has been gone the process of freezing him and turning him into an exhibit. Ian and the Doctor are quickly recaptured by the Morag guard, and Barbara and Vicky are captured shortly. Thereafter, with all four held in a prison in a museum, it looks like the time track proceeding as their future as museum exhibit soon will be realized at all. Help comes from the Xerox Revolution, who kills Lobos and the other Morag captors. The Xerox then go about destroying the Hate Museum. As the TARDIS crew slips away, they take with them a space-time vigilator on a souvenir. But on the planet Scaros, their departure is noticed by the Daleks. Which brings them up to our next story, The Chase. The Chase is originally transmitted on May 22nd through June 26, 1965. And marks the final appearances of William Russell and Jacqueline Hill as Ian and Barbara, and introduced a new companion, Peter Perbs, as Stephen Taylor. In the TARDIS, the four travelers are huddling around the space-time vigilator like a television-like souvenir from their recent adventure at the Space Museum, which can pick up on any past events in the whole time and space. The TARDIS then land, and the Doctor confirms that the conditions are hospitable. Ian and Vicky leave to explore the desert wilderness. They find an ancient trapdoor in the sand inside. They are trapped and become haunted by the hostile tentacle creatures called the Mirror Beast. Meanwhile, the Doctor and Barbara are stumbled, but they see the visual broadcast of the Dalek preparing to give a report. The Daleks plan followed the Emily time machine, the TARDIS, to Skagro Desert on the planet Artorias. The Daleks plan to take the TARDIS to find the Doctor and his companion and exterminate them. The Doctor and Barbara watch the incursion squad embark and dematerialize. The Doctor immediately realized that these happening in the past. Events happen. The Daleks may already been here. They must find Ian and Vicky and leave immediately. After a sandstorm night, the Doctor and Barbara see the Daleks emerge from the sands. The Daleks cannot find the time travelers, but they do locate the TARDIS underneath the sand and begin having dug out by the group of natives, Eredurians, who they have enslaved. The slave is forced to exterminate when they are no further values. The Doctor, and Barbara are saved by the other amphibian humanoid. The Arendans also find Vicky and Ian, who were injured when a wall collapsed and an explosion was used to kill the Mirai bees that were there and threatening them. The Mirai bee soon reappears and killing the Adrian Malslane, who was holding the party prisoner in the preparation for the handover. The Doctor and his friends, fleeing from the confusion, and managed to evade the Dalek scout to get back to the TARDIS. There now follows a chase through time and space, with the Dalek vessel determined to track down and exterminate the Doctor and his friends. The Daleks are 15 minutes behind, and the gap is closing. The first stop is Empire State in New York in 1966. The Doctor reached the Atlantic Ocean and aboard a sailing ship, the Mary Celestine. The crew adventures outside and are mistaken for a stowaway. They sneak away in the TARDIS as the crew search for the scout ship for them. Soon the Daleks arrive and the frightened crew of abandoned ship, jumping overboard. The next point of landing is mysterious mysterious old house where both Dracula and Frankenstein monster come to life. These terrorists stalk the building, but also attack the incursion squad when they arrive. In the confusion to depart, the Doctor, Ian, and Barbara leave Vicky behind, never realize they had simply been visiting a futuristic theme attraction called the Festival of Ganya in 1996. The Daleks repelled back to their vessel by the monster, who in fact robot. Vicky stole away to board the Dalek ship. She had traveled into the jungle, the world of Mechanicus, when the Doctor's TARDIS is already landed. On the Dalek ship, Vicky witnessed a Dalek replicator machine in action. An android replica of the Doctor is produced and is programmed to kill the original Doctor and his companions. When the Dalek ship arrives on Mechalus, the robot killer is dispatched. The jungle is hostility with a large fungoid plants, which human attacks only retreat when explosion to light. While the four travelers are reunited, and the real Doctor unmasks their robot counterpart, disabling with his stick. The next morning, the Doctor noticed there is a vast metal city of jungles. They all decide to adventure in the structure. Within a month, the robot mechanoid arrives and captured them into the city. They are locked in a cage room with the cell a man named Stephen Taylor, an astronaut from Earth, which crash landed on a planet 2 years earlier. He has been kept as prisoner by the mechanoids. Since the Daleks now attack the city and solve the action, the Doctor and his party and Stephen manage to escape the city down with some cable with mechanoids, and the Daleks became involved with a pitched battle which devastated both sides of the building. The four companions flee for safety, but are separated from Stephen, who had been presumed to have been killed. Finding deserted Dalek time machine to persuade the Doctor to show Ian how to operate after a tearful farewell, Ian and Barbara return to their own planet at last, their own time, being 2 years out of London of 1965. The machine is destroying using audio destruct mechanism once Barbara and Ian are out of it. Wow. This is great. Perfect episode. I really enjoyed it. Space Museum, great, alright. And anyway, let's get on to the DVD features, by the way. Here's the still pictures from the story. On the Space Museum, we have audio commentary by actor William Russell, Maureen O'Brien, and writer Glenn Jones, moderated by Peter Purves. Defending the museum, My Grandfather, the Doctor, Jessie Carney, the daughter, A Holiday for the Doctor, The Chase. We have audio commentaries by Maureen O'Brien, Peter Purves, and director Richard Martin. Kalesk in the Cardiff, The Thrill of the Chase, Daleks Conquer and Destroy, Last Stop White Dialects. Why Stop White? Beyond the Screen, Original Monster Makers, Follow That Dialect, Slawcraft, and Give It So Slide. Here's Disc 1 for the Space Museum, Disc 2, and Disc 3. Unlike the UK release, Warner Brothers, Warner Home Video have managed to release the 2 episodes on a 3-disc set because it would cost them a lot of money to restore it. Let's take a look. Here's some still pictures of Peter Purves. You can't see them. Boy, he needs a shave. Gillette, the best a man can get. Yeah, he looks scruffy on there. Well, anyway, as you know, that's all the song for Gillette commercial. Gillette, a best a man can get. Anyway, well, that's it for this review. And remember, the 100 video special is on the way. So make sure to watch it. And remember, for all Whovians out there, if you have a Doctor Who DVD review that you would like me to review, you would like me to request it, all you have to do is subscribe to my channel and leave a comment. So hope you like this review. Rate, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, this is the new Time Travel Hyman 88 saying so long, and find me on Facebook.